started noticing little pops of color sprouting up here and there, always a welcome sign of spring. Many homeowners will see shrubs with little yellow flowers blooming called Forsythia and not have a clue how to prune them. Here to our rescue, please welcome gardening guru Ciscoe Morris. Come on out. I'm a hugger. Okay. Forsythia. I love Forsythia.
Me too. The harbinger of spring. Right now, everywhere you drive, you're seeing these beautiful plants. There's a problem with them, though.
Yeah, you said they're really hard to prune?
Well,
or we do it the wrong way?
We do it the wrong way. So, you know, this is the kind of plant, you buy the little one in the nursery, it's got a few shoots, you plant it, you go in for lunch, you come back out, it's 20 feet by 20 feet. It's taken over half your garden. It's a real thug. They grow really fast. So the trick to know what to do, see, because what happens, they grow way faster than we think, and you got all these beautiful branches growing up, and then people think it's getting way too tall, way too big, so they go out, cut it off at the top. When you do that, makes them branch out only at the top, and so
even if you waited until they stopped blooming, you'd still have the same problem if you cut it right there?
That's right.
So it's both the problem of where you're cutting and when you're cutting?
Yep, more where than anything else.
Oh, more than where?
So here's the trick with these plants. So they bloom in the spring, then new shoots grow up. Those new shoots bloom all the way up the shoot the next spring.
So this would be a new shoot.
This one is right there.
Okay.
So here's the problem. That big long shoot will never bloom again. Only growth that comes off the shoot will bloom.
Oh.
So, you know, see how it's all up that shoot?
This is what we want. This is the look that...
Now it's only on these. Then the next year, it's only on little teensy ones, because once these main shoots bloom, they never bloom again.
Oh.
So what we want...
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is kind of sad. We want to promote as much of this kind of thing as we can.
Shoots. Okay.
Yep. So
how do we do that?
The trick to blooming these, instead of ever cutting across the top, is to find some of the oldest, most horrible canes and cut a third of them right to the ground.
So you're looking for the big
the
canes.
big ones where all you're getting is a little growth on the top now.
And you're never going to get that long, beautiful shoot.
You never get. So you cut a third of those. That promotes lots of these to grow. Every year you do that as symmetrically as you can, and it stays in beautiful balance. It looks kind of elegant and open, and you get tons of blooms.
So if the plant is this tall, I'm going to be cutting about right to here after it's bloomed.
No, if it's that tall, you're going to be cutting right to the ground.
Right to the ground.
No matter how tall it is, you always cut right to the ground. You might need a lopper.
Like, am I leaving a little
bit? You're
bit?
leaving about that much.
Just about an
or
inch, half
even
an inch.
even this much. You could cut it right to the ground, because new ones will grow to take their place no matter what you do.
And when should we be pruning it?
As soon as it's done blooming is the perfect time.
And this blooms from now until when will
it'll bloom only for about 2 more weeks, and the whole show will be over. Now here's the thing. They can get so big and so crowded, you can't get in there to cut them.
Right.
They could become the thug that takes over your whole garden. If that happens, you know what you do? You get out there with your chainsaw and cut the whole thing to 1 inch from the ground. The whole 95 yards.
So if it's too big or messy, chainsaw it all the way down.
Yep, and if your plant dies, tell everybody Ed Hume gave you this advice. By the way, Ed's a great buddy of mine.
I know he is. That's a little bit scary, because most of the time you're saying don't over prune. This one you're saying just prune it the right way, but it's got to be all the way down.
These guys can become such thugs. There's no way that you can get in there and thin them out. So, and then what it'll do is it'll send up 8,000. I actually counted how many mine shot up after I did this. 8,542 shoots grew up.
No exaggeration.
And I only allowed 25 to grow, and the roots die back because it doesn't make enough leaves. Leaves make the food to support the roots. The roots died back. Now it's a beautiful, really elegant shrub, and I just keep 25 branches every year by cutting a third of them off and letting equal replacements grow up.
And so tell me though, once it starts blooming, what should you be, or right in the beginning of spring, what should you be doing as far as cutting? Because you've already cut it down after. And then should you be watching for any little shoots?
So, so if you cut it down, it's when it's all done blooming.
Right.
And then 8 billion of these guys
8
will
billion.
grow. So you cut off all but about 25, or however
Okay.
many you want, equally spaced.
Okay, and then they'll just bloom. We don't need to do anything to get
Yeah,
them to
the
bloom.
next year they'll bloom, and then you take a third of them out again.
Okay.
And you do it every year, and your plant will stay in balance and beautiful. Or there's a much easier way to deal with this.
Okay.
Buy a dwarf. They make dwarfs now, you know.
I
you
think
can
you
get a
just
little
buried
one.
the lead. Okay. What do you mean by a dwarf? Is that a completely different Forsythia plant?
It looks just like this, but it'll never grow more than about 4 feet tall.
And you don't need to do every year?
You
cut
still
another-
have to take a third out every year.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll become all thinned out and kind of ugly, you know.
Okay.
So to keep it blooming like crazy, you want to promote lots of nice new shoots to grow up.
Okay, because once this is bloomed, this branch will never bloom
That branch will never bloom. It'll do this next year, and you'll get these blooms, but
Okay.
this will never bloom.
right.
And then after that, it starts getting thinner and thinner, because it's only every year it's the growth that comes off the one that bloomed the year before.
So we just have to realize this will be dead to me, and we just need to
That's
cut it
right.
off.
Get rid of that guy.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No guts, no glory.
Thank you. Butchering my Forsythia, and it's okay. When we come back, the Hip Travel Mama is here with great suggestions for planning summer activities for kids. Back after this.